hearing something about the reorganizing principles, like a reminder that the way forward is truly to follow our highest excitement in every moment, because it may not always make linear sense. This is something that I've very much been experimenting with in my own life over the course of the last at least year. Um, and it's such a great tool to help you work through so much self-doubt and like fear and all the programming. And it's like, because it's that constant voice in your head, right? Like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing enough? And, a million other things that come with that. But what I'm seeing is that the closeout of this zipper, like the zipper being open, is kind of what allows those thoughts to be in excess. The overthinking, the over processing, the, over dramatization, and like all of those things that we know don't help us. As we allow the loops to close and the full zipper to come into completion, then we really have the sovereignty, and it's up to us to step forward in that new energy and take accountability for our choices. Um, and like we keep saying, choose your own adventure, but this very much applies here because every moment is a choice. And whether you look at it as an adventure or a chore or a task or, a directive, I got to go to work or whatever it is, um, it's always within your power as your own divine director, your perspective and your attitude, um, because that drives everything else. And so even if it's something lame, technically speaking, we can still approach it with an attitude of gratitude and with, a curiosity of how do I approach this from a level of wonderment and play. Sometimes you have to ask that question. It doesn't come naturally at first. I've been doing this a long time. I know I present as a happy-go-lucky free spirit, and I am, but this was a long journey. So I'm just being reminded that it takes practice to get there, and it's in every moment reminding yourself of how can I make this into play? Because that is not the default, or has not been the default in this planet for a long time. So just that choice, the recognition of that choice in every moment, how we want to approach things and how we want to perceive them, it plays a critical role in our experience. Something I've been seeing coming into a rebalance as well is our perception of how we move in the world, our perception of how time unfolds. Like we have sort of had this idea that not just that time is linear, but that time is like forward and backward, or that time is, I kind of see it as horizontal. Like as we move around in the world, like if you imagine your heart is constantly pinging like a being of light, you're like, oh, bing, 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 and you're following around your heart resonance all the time. Like as in the beat of your heart. It sort of creates a horizontal path or like through wherever you are. And it's interesting to think about it in a different way. Like my brain really likes like any and all physics games that like get you to think about something from a different perspective, like the little block games where you have to like figure out how to climb over onto the side and it just like takes a certain path, but then like the whole screen flips and you're like, oh, I'm right side up. I thought I would be upside down. It like breaks your brain for a second, but it kind of zaps you into a different line of thinking. And so I don't know how that's going to play out physically, but what I've been seeing lately is a big collective perspective transition from seeing ourselves as horizontal to seeing ourselves as vertical. And like I said, I don't know what that's going to look like yet, but I feel like time an experience move through us in a different way than we have been seeing, like perceiving it for a long time. And so there's something about that vertical channel of light also kind of pinging here as well. Maybe it has to do with the trees and the elementals, like high fairies. Fairies move up and down as well as horizontal.
It's interesting when you said specifically about time. Um, what they showed me when you as you literally this as you were speaking it out is a spiral. And then I asked, well, how are we as the human, because I'm just trying to understand the concept. Like I accept and I receive, as time weavers too. Like this feels true if you are a time weaver. Um, and I won't go into like super detail, but essentially, um, we experience time linear in this third density, but if it's a spiral concept, you're perceiving time as essentially like slices or a snippet, and then we're, as an infinite creator, we're essentially lining it up, and it presents the way that we're going about through our um, current day. I don't know how that concept, like I'm not really trying to wrap my human brain around it, but that actually makes quantum that makes a couple other concepts really easier for me from a human perspective, because quantum leaping is really easy, because if it's a spiral, I can literally just hit the next spiral and I'm in a much, like if you were to extend a spiral out, think of how far that is. But if I'm on a spiral, I take a leap to the next spiral up or down or laterally. That's vertical for the concept that you shared. I just jumped this far. Does that make sense? Like, so that makes a lot of these other concepts way easier on the human brain. So I just wanted to say that out loud. I don't have a clear concept on it, but thanks for the.
Yeah, we probably can like how so just imagine the timeline always is right. We can have the timeline go horizontal or go vertical. So that means we can jump a timeline really easily. If we think something is going to happen, we can just think about it and then we jump to that timeline.
Yeah, I think there's a number of different ways to visualize that. Like I'm seeing like a moving sidewalk, when you go to the airport and they have the sidewalks that are kind of like words. But I'm basically seeing like a few different lanes of those moving at different speeds. And so it's almost like, I don't know. That's not really time hopping. That's more like rate of speed hopping. But I think it's similar in a way.